Hello, everybody. This is Sam Hin with NLCAA, and today we'll be taking a quick look at acceptance testing, one of the requirements that we have here for California projects complying with the 2019 Title 24 requirements for lighting controls. So, what is acceptance testing, or short AT? Well, first off, it is a California Title 24 requirement. Actually, it's been a requirement since the 2013 code cycle, and it applies to all non-residential projects. There are some building exceptions, and that would apply to your healthcare facilities, high-rise residential buildings, and then also your hotel slash motel buildings. Okay, you'll find this in Code Section 130.4. So for our California projects, during the construction process and phase, uh, there is an acceptance testing procedure that must be carried out, and it gets carried out by certified ATTs and ATEs, and these two groups, really it's one group, because an ATT is an acceptance test technician, an ATE is their employer that has been certified also. So technically you have a ATT that has gone out to this project to do some testing, some certification and verification of the lighting controls that has been installed in that facility or in that building. Now, they don't test every single aspect of the lighting control system. In actuality, they're really testing the more critical requirements, which would be your automatic shutoff requirements, whether it's through time clock or occupant sensing devices, or maybe some demand response requirements, maybe daylight harvesting. Just depends on if any of those requirements are on the project. It is the final step before we actually can get a certificate of occupancy for the space or the building. All right, so let's talk about when acceptance testing should be done. And we kind of touched on some of these points here, and we had mentioned that typically acceptance testing is done at the very end of construction. And so, we're talking about the install of the lighting control system has been completed by the installing contractor. And in most cases, the programming and startup of the lighting control system by the manufacturer or the manufacturer's rep of the lighting control system has also been completed. Sometimes it's done in tandem or simultaneously. While the guys are out there programming, they're also doing the acceptance testing. That sometimes happens. And we had mentioned that it applies to pretty much all Title 24, all California projects that has been submitted for permitting. Okay, and the exceptions we had mentioned earlier being buildings such as your healthcare facilities, hotel motel buildings, and high-rise residential were the few scope of facilities that are exempted. What are ATTs and ATEs? Well, ATT stands for Acceptance Test Technician, and for our topic, we're talking about our lighting controls ATTs. And I say lighting controls because there are ATTs for HVAC and mechanical also, which is not what we're referring to in this presentation. Now, the ATT personnel actually goes out to the field, the project, and performs the functional and verification acceptance testing. And they're the ones who will either pass or not pass the project. An ATE is an acceptance test employer. So the ATT must be working for an employer that is certified to be an ATE, an acceptance test employer. So these guys, these ATEs, provide oversight for their team of ATTs, or it could be one person. And a lot of times, you may have a single person company where that person is not only the ATT, but they're also their own ATE. That's totally normal, and we have some ATTs that operate that way. And before one can become certified to be recognized as an ATT or an ATE, they must have gone through a certification uh, program provided by an acceptance test technician certification provider, which is the ATTCP. So, who can be an NLCAA, ATT, or ATE certified professional? Well, in our industry, we see a lot of electricians that go out and get the certification, engineers here and there, uh, a lot of commissioning agents, lighting industry professionals, and so on. So it's pretty much anybody who is in the industry, the construction industry. And so some of the minimum requirements we're looking at are having at least 3 years of experience in the lighting controls, and electrical systems. And so there are some prerequisites and training courses that must be completed prior to becoming an ATT or ATE. Let's talk about the course makeup for anybody who would be interested in signing up for one of our certification courses that we have for our ATT and ATEs here at NLCAA. Now, our office for NLCAA and training classrooms are located in Signal Hill, California. Signal Hill being a city close to Long Beach, just to give you guys some reference. And so for ATT, we're talking about doing a 3-day on site course, 17 hours of lecture, and 5 hours of labs. There is a 2-hour test at the end, and passing test score would be 75%. Now, for the ATE certification course, they would have to take an 8-hour online course, and the passing test score is also 75%. For more information on becoming an ATT and or ATE, come visit us at nlcaa.org. Thank you. Hope to see you again.